Hey guys, Tisha here, and I'm back with another review of Sister Wives Season 1. I don't know why I thought I was done, but apparently not only was there a Sister Wives special, there's also a honeymoon special. So my plan is to do the Sister Wives special today and to do the honeymoon special tomorrow and be done with Season 1. All right, so they do a whole recap of what we've seen so far for Season 1. We find out that Kody went public because he felt that it was time that they came out of the shadows of polygamy. He said that he wanted to show that this isn't a patriarchy. He's not a narcissist, self-obsessed, or has the need to have women loving and worshiping him. And this is why I'm doing a review. I put up that clip on my page just as a clip because this is completely different than the Kody that we now know. So when these wives are saying that the person that they married back then is not the person that they know now, this is a prime example. How do we go from this man who did not want to be seen as a patriarch or a narcissist or self-obsessed to one that is all the things that he just said that he didn't want to be? He said he's a man that is well-trained and he does not control his wives. That the women don't do what he wants them to do. He said he's tried, but they've smacked him down. They're not going for it. So, before Robyn came along, these women did not allow Kody to run over them. Before Robyn came along, these women's voices were heard, and to some degree, they were respected. He says that he only bosses the kids around, and that's it, not the wives. And I look back now to season 18, and I said that apparently he feels like he's still supposed to boss the kids around. See, this right here is making things clear to me. Because one of the things that he loves to say about Robyn and her children is how they're loyal and how they obey him and they follow the rules. This is the very thing that he's wanted all along. And it seems like the version that we got before is not the version that we get now. Once he had a little taste of a wife who seemed to be a little bit more submissive in certain areas to him, he had different expectations of his other wives. They bring up that one of the things that a lot of America probably thought about was the bedroom situation and Kody going to different bedrooms with all these wives. And Christine immediately shuts it down and says that it's not that. It's about love and family and communication. Christine did such an amazing job in prior seasons of protecting her man. Kody had a hedge of protection in Christine. Because of how vocal Christine was back then, even though sometimes I'm sure her complaints got on his nerves, if anyone outside of the family was coming against Kody, Christine had his back. Kody says that chicks don't understand that a man could have 4 best friends. Honey, we understand that a man can have 4 best friends. What we struggle with understanding is a man being married to these 4 best friends and having children with these 4 best friends. We understand that with that, there's going to be some type of jealousy because women are naturally emotional beings. at least in my case, let me speak for myself. A lot of the women that I have come in contact with are emotional. And being emotional is not a bad thing. We're intuitive. I'll say that. We find out that the kids have mixed feelings about the show. Some are expressing love, some are expressing hate. I'm sure it's the older kids that probably hate it because they understand more of what this means. Like, you're broadcasting their business for all to see. So I'm sure it affected them differently, because I'm sure that friends that may not have known the dynamics may now know, that people that you may run into the street may recognize you like they didn't ask for it. Kody says that the public may see like the little disagreements and things of that nature as a cat fight. But all of these relationships have been nurtured so it doesn't become that. Kody, have you not even watched this first season? Your wives definitely have a problem with the way that you were spending your time during this courting process. So you're talking about all the different relationships being nurtured, but there were points in time, even as early as season 1, where they felt that there was a gap. Kody's telling us that you have to have a lot of love, openness, and fairness to succeed in any relationship, especially polygamy. And it's obvious that this is not something that he practices anymore. Because at this point in time, we now see that Kody does not know how to forgive. The way that he has drawn out the children not following his COVID guidelines and some of the wives not following his COVID guidelines, and how his sons treated Robyn and the things that they said to Robyn and how his wives were jealous, he has not forgiven. What Kody does is Kody acts like he forgives, but he holds on to it and uses it for when it's convenient. The host speaks to Mary about how she's managed to be able to do this 3 different times. Mary said that it's not always easy, but it comes down to the bigger picture, which is the family, and that you have to learn how to work through your own insecurities and where you are in your head. She said that there's ups and downs, and for the most part, she's okay. It's just that when she's having the downs is when her insecurities tend to come out. Christine let us know that whenever she's expecting, because they talk about like pregnancy and Mary's infertility issues and all those things, and Christine lets us know that whenever she's expecting, that she tells Mary first. I forgot about this, and then it made me think about Robyn, because I remember when Robyn got pregnant, Robyn made it a point to tell Mary before she told anyone else. And she made it seem like it was so that Mary and her can have a bond, also because she didn't want to hurt Mary. But Christine saying this, that whenever she gets pregnant, she always made sure to tell Mary first, let me know that Robyn made a note of it. See, a lot of what Robyn did and does is tactical moves. And it may seem like she's doing something because she just cares about everybody else and she's so sweet and she's so loving. But to me, there's always been some underlying motivation behind it. We find out that Janelle is the only one who didn't grow up in the faith. She married Mary's brother when she was 19 years old. She said that the marriage was short, that it wasn't that big of a deal, that they were together for 1.5 years, and then 2 years after their divorce, she married Kody. Janelle, that is a big deal. Because that may also explain why you and Mary had some difficulties in the beginning and why Kody wanted to bring in Christine to help with those difficulties. Because Mary probably has some leftover resentment from whatever happened between you and her brother. We find out that Janelle and Kody are the only 2 adults in the family who have a full-time job. So all that crap that Kody was talking about, Janelle benefiting from the resources in this most recent episode that we saw for season 18 is crap. Because the family at this point is obviously benefiting from Janelle if she is a full-time working employee. The host asks them about how they're able to have these cars and this beautiful house and all these other things if there's only 2 adults working full-time. And Kody talks about how, okay, the car that you see me driving is however many years old. We bought it used. It was 7 years old when we got it. We all pull our resources together. That financially they are struggling, that there's never enough money, but they always somehow manage to make it work. So you were financially struggling and you decided to add another body and 3 kids to this. Kody says that for the most part, his employer takes care of the insurance. But then we hear some story about how at one point when Janelle switched jobs and Maddie had to have an emergency appendectomy, that Janelle didn't have coverage, and they're still paying for the surgery, that it's going to take about a year to pay that off. No, it could take longer than a year because it's a whole year's worth of pay for that procedure, which makes me wonder, did Janelle have some kids and you have some kids? Because there's no way that all those kids were covered if at some point Janelle didn't have coverage, even though you're just saying that there was a lapse. And I do remember that there being issues as far as insurance when it came to Isabel's scoliosis surgery in later seasons. So I don't think they're telling us the full truth about the insurance thing. When talking about her experience with her sister wives, Janelle says that they've all experienced jealousy in different ways, but she is not as vocal as Christine or Mary. That she tends to be less emotional and more logical. This might be the reason why a lot of what we saw on TV with Kody and Janelle in previous seasons was them getting along, because Janelle was stoic and because Janelle didn't come to him complaining probably as much as her other sister wives. Kody doesn't like complainers. I can't remember if it was Janelle who said in a season not too long ago that she learned very on that Kody doesn't like when you complain a lot. No, it was Robyn. Was it Robyn? One of them said that they learned very on that Kody didn't like when you complain a lot about the other wives. So she stopped complaining. I think it might be Robyn. Let me know down in the comments who it was. Janelle didn't require as much emotional support, which now makes her be called names like the Teflon Queen. See, Kody, you got to pick and choose how you want it, honey. They present Christine as outspoken, the outspoken one. And I just wonder at what point Christine lost her voice. Seriously, think about it. How did she go from being the outspoken one to saying that she felt like she lost her voice? Christine then talks about how she never understood how Mary and Janelle felt until Robyn came along. Because Christine wasn't the first or second wife, she was the third wife. So when Robyn came along, she felt replaced. I really don't think that Christine signed up to have someone else come along. Christine has said on multiple occasions that she wanted to be the last wife. They show the whole scene with Christine struggling with her jealousy. They show the scene with the dress and Christine getting upset when she found out that even though Robyn wasted their time and took them to the dress place, she still ended up going with Kody and picking out a dress and keeping it a secret. And they asked Christine what made that so hard and why she walked off the way she did. And Christine says she was jealous. She felt abandoned and she didn't feel special. She said she was finally getting to a place where she was ready for Robyn, like she was fine with it. and open to it. And he dropped the bomb about the secret. Her saying that she finally reached a place where she was open to it once again lets us know that it's not something that Christine wanted. Christine did not want there to be another wife. Robyn is then described by the host as sweet and emotional. Man, you got that wrong, girl. Sweet and emotional. To describe Robyn. Robyn said that with the experience of being a polygamous wife, that she intends to learn how to be more selfless and learn to look to others and see what they need as well. What happened? Seriously, what happened? I remember how Robyn responded when she announced her pregnancy to the family. Like, she was overanalyzing everybody's reaction. She felt away because the kids, the teenagers, didn't embrace her and get overly excited about there being yet another baby to take away time from their father. So what happened to you wanting to be selfless? That seems a little selfish, if you ask me. Kody says that it wasn't all like, oh, yay, Robyn, when he first met her, that he had an ick factor when it came to her because he found out that Robyn was divorced and that she had kids. You guys, this is why he wanted Robyn's ex out the picture. See, Kody presented himself like, yay, I'm fine with you having an ex. It's okay. I'm over it because the kids get to have 2 dads just like they have 4 moms. And it's going to be good. But at some point, something switched. Was Kody jealous of the children's biological father? Like, what made it change? As she talks about the family, Robyn, she says that she hates hurting people. And one of the things that she hated about all of this, looking back at things, is she saw how much she hurt Christine. Makes me wonder if she sees how much she damaged this family. Maybe in the beginning she actually felt this way. Maybe she felt like she didn't want to hurt them and she wanted to be a part in all these things. But at some point, something changed. And I wish that she would be honest so we can know what it is. Christine says, and the wives agree, that Kody's vocabulary has changed significantly since meeting Robyn, that over the time that he was courting her, that he had a better vocabulary, that he could started communicating better and things of that nature, which we already know that the wives have said that a lot of times they can tell who Kody's been hanging out with the most and who he's been talking to based on the way he speaks. Robyn then talks about how good it's been since the kids have moved, that her kids are thriving, that they're loving having more siblings. Now, remember, this season, we hear from Robyn how much her kids suffered being a part of this family. So right now, everything is great and her kids are thriving. But she's going to pitch it later on that her kids suffered. Which one is it? I don't think your kids ever suffered, Robyn. I think that Robyn just used it as an excuse because she heard all the other women say that. Kody says that Robyn's kids are my kids and I'm not going to take them away from their father. That's bull. We already know that changed. We found out that Mary was fired recently because of the show. We then hear about the family possibly facing consequences because of being public. I really want to know how much danger the family was really in of losing their children. We know that they were being investigated, but did it ever come to the point of prosecution? I cannot remember. I don't know. Kody said that if anyone ever wanted to leave, that they would be able to, but he would want to keep his kids close. That he would try to do whatever he could, whether it be offer more money, move them next door, whatever he had to do to keep his kids close. which this brings me back to him basically threatening Christine when she said that she was going to leave and she was going to take Truly, saying that he would have to get representation. Kody kind of showed himself a little bit in this episode to me, to the point where I'm wondering who Kody really is. Because the person that we're seeing here is definitely not the person that we're seeing now currently. So was this all an act? Because at one point during this interview, he said that he had to tone things down for the cameras because he's actually a lot more dramatic than what the cameras showed us. So who is the real Kody Brown? We may never know. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time.